Hello everybody, welcome to the final part of Orpheus and Eurydice. Now, really quick recap. Orpheus is travelling back out of the underworld. Hades has promised him that Eurydice will follow him unharmed and will be returned to her human form as long as Orpheus does not look around. All Orpheus has to do is travel out of the underworld, and no matter what happens to him, he must not look around. So, he's just travelled through the horrible, dark, scary room that had Cerberus breathing and roaring at him, and he managed to calm down the three-headed dog with his beautiful music. He slams the door shut, and this is where we start the final part of our story. Orpheus took a big sigh of relief. That had been terrifying. But then he suddenly realised, in his terror, he'd completely forgotten about Eurydice following him. What if she was stuck in the room? What if she was stuck with Cerberus? But he remembered Hades' words, "Do not look round." So he didn't look round. He calmed himself down and started walking until, in the distance, he could see the murky, dark waters of the river Styx. And two boats waiting. One boat was waiting for Orpheus and the other for Eurydice to follow him out of the underworld back to the human world where they could live happily ever after. Oh, he got so excited. He started making excited big strides towards the river, leapt onto the boat, and the magical waters pushed the boat away from the bank. And he could hear the other boat following him in the distance. She was following him. Oh my goodness! Orpheus was nearly at the end of his quest. Eurydice was behind him. Everything was going to be fine. And in his happiness, he started to play a beautiful song with his lyre. Playing and playing and playing until suddenly, after some time, he suddenly thought he hadn't heard the other boat for a while, so he stopped playing and listened. Nothing. What if she wasn't there? What if the whole thing was a trick? What if Hades tricked him and she wasn't following him after all? Or what if she did get stuck in the room with Cerberus? I mustn't look round. Okay, just have one more listen. Really hard to try and see if I can hear anything, he thought. So Orpheus listened. Nothing. And then, without thinking, Orpheus looked around. And there she was! Eurydice was waving at him behind excitedly. She was there! But Orpheus had looked round. And suddenly, Eurydice's boat went zoom and disappeared underneath the water. Eurydice was gone. For a second time, Orpheus had lost his Eurydice, but this time it was forever. Eurydice got to the other side, stepped off the boat. Absolutely devastated. His foolishness had lost his love again. And that was it. Sadly, Orpheus lived a long and unhappy life. He continued to play his music, but the song he played was the sad, bitter, depressing music of his heartache that continued on and on until Orpheus's days were done and he died an old and unhappy man. And that brings us to the end of the tragic story of Orpheus and Eurydice. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it's such a sad ending, but things don't always end happy. But often it's about how you learn to cope with a situation. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and after half term there's going to be more stories coming, so thank you so much. Bye bye everybody.